It was a huge nationwide story when we broke it 2 years ago on this very broadcast. Disney workers laid off and the company forcing them to train their foreign replacements if they wanted their severance. Donald Trump, campaigning for president, was outraged. He took up the cause, promising to do something about it. But that was then, and this is now. ABC 7's Jess Dowdrick joins us with more from Orlando.
250 American workers lost their IT jobs here at Disney. They say they were told they had to train their replacements that came from overseas in India, or they would lose their severance package. That was 4 years ago, and still Congress and the president are allowing this to happen despite several promises to do something and change American law. So tonight, Disney workers have no other choice but to give up.
The rug was ripped out from under me and several of my peers.
Mary Poorman started working at Disney when she was just a senior in high school. 39 years later, she had worked her way up to a full-time gig in the IT department.
It was a great job. I was very proud to be bringing home that salaried paycheck to my family.
In October of 2014, Disney broke the news. Poorman and her co-workers had just 90 days to find another job.
Nobody anticipated the amount of people that were let go and treated so harshly and poorly.
30 of those 250 IT workers that lost their jobs came to Sarasota attorney and CEO of Protect U.S. Workers, Sarah Blackwell, for help, including Poorman.
They were replaced by virtually only young male Indian nationals. Those Indian nationals were paid substantially less than the American workers that were fired, and they were not at all better skilled in any way, form, or fashion.
It is against federal and state law to discriminate against an employee because of a nationality, race, age, or gender. It is also illegal to replace immigrant workers with visa workers.
Except it is legal if you follow a particular business model created by the billionaires and the politicians who heavily benefit from this business model.
Blackwell says it's used by thousands of businesses to get around these federal and immigration laws. Here's how Blackwell says Disney did it. When these 250 workers lost their jobs, their replacements weren't hired by Disney, but instead contracted through another company.
These loopholes in the law are intentionally built in the law by the politicians who were bought and paid for by the billionaires.
In the last 4 years, Blackwell filed 3 separate lawsuits against Disney. She lost 2 of them, and the third, a discrimination case, she is now dropping.
Because the courts have made it clear that the amendments and our efforts are fruitless, and that the laws enacted by our Congress allow what happened at Walt Disney World, we have lost.
Blackwell is now calling out U.S. Senator Bill Nelson, who is up for re-election. Nelson promised to call on Congress to reduce the number of work visas in the future, according to Blackwell. But she says he was all talk and no action.
Fast forward to February 12, 2018. That same Bill Nelson is currently running for re-election. Guess what? The Walt Disney World CEO, Bob Iger, hosted a fundraiser raising money for Bill Nelson's campaign.
ABC 7 reached out to Senator Nelson's team for comment and did not get a response. Blackwell also called out President Donald Trump at Wednesday's announcement.
My Disney clients, the victims of this business model, and I stood up at the Trump rallies in Alabama and Florida, and we told the crowds about this business model. Crowds of 35,000 people were listening.
Blackwell says they endorsed Trump because he promised to make change and never did. So now the fight ends for these Disney workers.
I hope that you all understand that we're not asking for money. We are asking for the hemorrhaging of American jobs to stop.
The lawsuits may be thrown out, but attorney Sarah Blackwell and these former Disney employees say they are not giving up. They say they will not let Senator Nelson, President Trump, or any other politician off the hook, in hopes that any former Disney employees won't have to go through what they did. Reporting in Orlando, Jess Dowdrick, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.